What if you make a mistake in English, and suddenly the only word in your head is sorry? Sometimes that is enough. Sometimes it is not. Sometimes the moment is very small. You step in someone's way. You interrupt for 1 second. You bump into someone by accident. And a simple sorry works perfectly. But other times, the situation is bigger. You are late. You forgot something important. You missed a message. You replied too late. You misunderstood someone. And then one small sorry feels too weak. So what do you say? How do you sound polite, natural, calm, and sincere without sounding too formal, too dramatic, or too cold? Today, we're going to make that easier.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Sam and Lily.
This is the place where we help you speak English in a way that feels useful, real, and human.
Hi Sam. I had 2 little apology moments today. One was easy, one was awkward.
Oh, now I want to hear both. Tell me the easy one first.
Okay, the easy one happened in the supermarket. I turned around too quickly and almost hit someone with my shopping basket. So I said, "Oh, sorry," and that was enough.
Yes, that is a perfect small apology. Short, natural, easy.
But the second one was different. A friend sent me a message in the morning, and I did not reply for hours. When I finally answered, I wrote, "Sorry," and then I stared at the screen because it suddenly felt too short.
Yes, that is exactly the problem. Same word, different situation, and the feeling changes.
Exactly, and that's why this topic matters so much. Apology English is not only one word, it changes with the moment.
And that is exactly our topic today. How to apologize politely in English. Not dramatic movie apologies, not stiff textbook apologies. Real-life apology English. The kind you use when you're late, or forget something, or interrupt, or reply too late, or make a small mistake in everyday life.
And before we continue, if you enjoy these kinds of real-life English conversations, please like the video.
And subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily for more easy English podcast episodes.
And if you know someone who wants to sound more natural in English, share this episode with them.
Okay, let's begin with the simplest truth of all. Sometimes, sorry is enough.
Yes, not every apology needs to become a speech. Sometimes the mistake is tiny, and tiny mistakes often need tiny apologies.
For example, you step in someone's way by mistake. You speak at the same time as someone else. You drop something. You bump into a chair. You get in someone's way for a second.
In those moments, you can say things like, "Sorry. Sorry about that. Oops, sorry. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt."
Let's do a quick role play. You're speaking, and I interrupt you by accident.
So yesterday, I was talking to my cousin and...
Oh, was that the cousin who moved?
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, that sounds completely natural. No long explanation needed.
That is the first big idea today. Not every apology needs a long explanation.
Yes, sometimes simple English sounds best.
Now let's move to the next level, when sorry is not enough on its own.
Yes, this happens when the mistake feels a little bigger. Not terrible, but bigger.
For example, you're late. You forgot something. You replied too late. You missed a call. You kept someone waiting.
In those situations, English usually sounds more natural with a fuller apology. For example, "I'm so sorry I'm late." "Sorry I missed your message." "I'm really sorry about that." "Sorry, I completely forgot." "I'm sorry about the delay."
These feel better because they match the situation. A bigger inconvenience usually needs a fuller apology.
Let's compare 2 versions again. You're 15 minutes late to meet a friend. Version 1. "Sorry."
That sounds a little too small. Not rude, but not enough.
Version 2. "I'm so sorry I'm late."
Yes, that feels stronger right away. More sincere, more complete.
And you can change the feeling a little depending on the situation. For example, "I'm really sorry" sounds warm and personal. "I'm so sorry" sounds a little stronger. "Sorry about that" sounds softer and more casual.
That is another useful thing to notice. English apologies are not all the same shape. They move a little depending on the size of the mistake.
Now let's talk about something many learners worry about. What comes after the apology?
Yes, because sometimes you apologize and then you feel you need to explain.
And a short explanation can be very helpful, but it should support the apology, not replace it.
So the usual pattern is apology first, explanation second.
For example, I'm so sorry I'm late. The traffic was terrible. Sorry, I missed your message. I was in a meeting. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't see your message. Sorry, I got a bit distracted.
Notice how short those reasons are. That matters because a short explanation often sounds honest. A long explanation can start sounding like an excuse.
Yes, for example, this sounds weak. Sorry, but my phone was low, and then the bus was late, and then I had another thing, and then... That feels too long, too defensive.
A better version sounds like, I'm really sorry I'm late. The bus was delayed. That's enough.
Let's do a role play with missed messages. I'll be the person apologizing first. Weak version. Sorry, I was busy and then I forgot and then I looked later.
Yes, that feels a little messy.
Better version. Sorry for the late reply. I only just saw your message.
Much better. Short, clear, natural.
I think this is a good moment to say something important. You do not need perfect apology English. You do not need dramatic apology English. You do not need to sound like a lawyer in a movie.
You just need clear, calm, sincere English.
A good apology is usually simple. Simple can be very strong.
Now let's move into work situations, because apology English at work can feel different.
Yes, work apologies are often calmer, more careful, and a little more complete.
For example, sorry I'm late, everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I'm sorry I missed that. Apologies, I should have replied earlier.
That word, apologies, sounds a little more formal, useful in work emails, meetings, or more professional situations.
Let's imagine I forgot to send a document. Weak version, sorry.
Too small again.
Better version, I'm really sorry about that. I should have sent it earlier.
Yes, that sounds responsible, and responsibility makes work apologies stronger.
You can also say things like, sorry I missed your email. I'm sorry I misunderstood the deadline. Apologies for the delay, I'm sending it now. Sorry, I should have checked that earlier.
Those work well because they're calm, not dramatic, not emotional in a big way, just professional and clear.
Now let's move to something softer. Friends.
Yes, apologies with friends are often more casual and more relaxed. Still sincere, but usually warmer and less formal.
For example, sorry, I totally forgot. I'm really sorry, I lost track of time. Sorry for the late reply. Oh no, I'm sorry. My bad.
That last one, my bad, is very casual. Good with friends, not always right for work.
Let's imagine I forgot to call you back. I could say, sorry for the late reply. I totally forgot to call.
Yes, that sounds very natural.
Or if I am late meeting you, I might say, I'm really sorry. I lost track of time.
Yes, warm, honest, simple.
Now let's talk about something very important. What makes an apology sound weak or not very sincere?
Yes, because not all apologies feel the same way. Some sound honest, some sound defensive. Some sound like the person is apologizing, but also pushing the apology away at the same time.
For example, sorry, but it wasn't really my fault. Well, sorry, I guess. Sorry you feel that way.
Yes, those do not feel very good because they move away from responsibility.
A better apology sounds more like, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I'm really sorry about that. Sorry, I should have told you earlier.
That is one of the biggest lessons in apology English. Better apologies sound responsible, not defensive.
Let's compare two versions of the same situation. You forgot to tell me something important. Version 1, sorry, but I was really busy.
That sounds like the excuse is trying to win.
Version 2, I'm really sorry. I should have told you earlier.
Yes, that sounds much more sincere.
Now let's go even deeper. Sometimes after apologizing, you also want to repair the situation.
Yes, that means you don't only say sorry, you also offer a next step.
For example, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm on my way now. Sorry I missed your message. I'm replying now. I'm really sorry about that. I'll send it today. Sorry I forgot. I'll do it right away.
These sound strong because they do two things. They show regret and they show action.
Let's do a small role play with that. You forgot to send me the address.
Sorry.
That apology exists, but it doesn't really help me.
Better version, I'm so sorry. I forgot to send it. I'm sending it now.
Yes, much stronger. Now the apology feels useful.
Now, let's do something very helpful. The same situation in two different versions. First, weak apology English, then better apology English.
Let's do it.
Situation 1. You're late to meet a friend. Weak version first.
Sorry.
It's okay, but that felt very small.
I'm so sorry I'm late. The traffic was terrible.
No worries. Thanks for telling me.
Now, situation 2. You replied to a message very late. Weak version, sorry.
Again, too small.
Better version, sorry for the late reply. I only just saw your message.
Much better.
Situation 3. You interrupted someone. Weak version, actually, here the short apology might be enough.
Yes, that is important too. Not every apology needs to become longer. In this case, something like, sorry, go ahead, is perfect.
Exactly. The goal is not longer apology English. The goal is the right apology for the moment.
So, what have we really learned today?
We learned that small mistakes often need small apologies.
We learned that bigger situations often need fuller apologies.
We learned that apology first, explanation second usually sounds best.
We learned that short explanations can help, but excuses can weaken the apology.
We learned that work apologies are often calmer and more careful.
We learned that friend-style apologies can sound warmer and more casual.
And we learned that the best apologies sound simple, sincere, and responsible.
Yes, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone forgets things sometimes. Everyone is late once in a while. The goal is not perfection. The goal is kindness when something goes wrong.
You don't need perfect English to apologize well. You just need simple, sincere English.
And now we want to hear from you.
Which apology phrase from today do you want to remember most?
Or tell us which apology situation is hardest for you. Being late, replying late, forgetting something, interrupting someone, or apologizing at work.
We love reading your comments, and it's a great way to practice real English.
And if this episode helped you, share it with one friend today.
And don't forget to subscribe to Speak English with Sam and Lily if you're new here.
Thank you so much for listening today. We believe in you. Keep practicing. You can do this.
See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.